24. März, Backstage in Hamburg, heute aus der Markthalle mit Steve Lukather, Gitarrist von Toto seit 35 Jahren, Session-Gitarrist, hat auf über 1500 Sessions gespielt, unter anderem legendär auf Michael Jacksons Thriller und ist heute hier, um sein 7. Soloalbum Transition zu promoten. Heute sprechen wir mit Steve Lukather. Hey Steve, pleased to meet you. Welcome to Hamburg.
It's great to be back, man.
You're not, when you're composing, you're not like a 1-4-5 guy.
I try to throw a few adult chords in there and rock and roll, much like Steely Dan did, you know? I mean, aside from the Beatles and all the popular music I grew up listening to on the radio and things that I was influenced by, Steely hit a big nerve with me because it was very sophisticated harmonically, but it was still kind of rock and roll. You listen to Black Friday or Reeling in the Years or Bodhisattva, there's some cranky stuff in there. I mean, it's not heavy metal, but it's still, it's pop music with adult, really beautiful harmonically and groove-wise. It feels good, and it's recorded really well, and some amazing guitar performances, you know, throughout the history of Steely. I got to play with those guys a couple times and almost went on the road.
Playing it live, does it also kind of help you with that transition?
Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes, depending on what mood I'm in, when I'm playing a particular piece of music, I may actually start thinking about what I wrote the song about. And that's an internal thing. I don't really show that, but you know, those songs were all inspired by stuff, you know? So real things that happened to me. I've really worked hard on being a better lyricist, you know? I mean, I write journals and stuff like that. I don't sit down and just start writing, you know, Moon and June, too soon, you know, rhyming schemes to fill up space in between guitar solos. I write about things that I see, and now that I've lived life a little bit and I've gotten older, I'm clear-headed. I have a lot more time on my hands to do constructive things. I read a lot, pay attention to what's going on in the news worldwide. I care about shit, you know. I got 4 kids, 2 generations. I care about the world, you know. So I make opinions, and I'm not the great and powerful Oz, man. I don't know. These are just opinions. Somebody says something funny, I write it down, you know. It sparks an idea for a song, and then I co-write with people too, including my son Trev, you know, and Right the Wrong, you know. And he was very instrumental in bringing that riff in and coming up with really cool melodies and lyric ideas, along with my buddy C.J. Vanston, who did the whole record. So I work well with others because I'm so critical. I would throw a lot of shit away. The people say, whoa, don't do that. Wait, let's work with that for a minute.
So you do a little bit of social media yourself. You have a Facebook page, you have a Twitter account. So I'm thinking that in general, you think the internet and the ability to distribute music via the internet, you think that's a good thing?
Well, you know, if you have a pet alligator, you have to learn how to make friends with the alligator so they don't bite your head off. Know what I mean? You got to look at the positives. There's negatives and positives, but there is in life. The business has changed, the world has changed. You can't put Pandora back in the box. Once they let the shit out, when the record companies fucked up and didn't make a deal with Napster, it was all's fair. And they all cashed, all the presidents and the corporate guys cashed out, took all of our money, and went like this to us, and left us holding the bag of shit on fire. We're cleaning up those of us that can survive it and take the punches. You learn, obviously technology is better. I don't know if that's good or bad in some cases, but you know, they used to say that we were really slick and polished and everything. Now it's like rock bands are so polished by production that it makes us look like, you know, a punk band, you know what I mean? By comparison, as far as we sat in a room and really played live. Those were real people playing in a room.
Let's go really quick, couple of sentences about your gear. You're traveling with the Luke 3 and the Bogner amps, I think.
Yeah, the Bogner's over here. Yeah, I mean, I love him. Reinhold's great, he makes great stuff, man. You know what's interesting? You know, I have the 110 version, you know, in other words, the power's 110, 220 here. Because there's more power going through it, it has a big sound, man. I don't know what it is, current, you know. Electricity is very dangerous, but I just like the way, and I plug right into it. I got a couple stomp boxes on the ground.
What kind of boxes do you have there?
Oh, shit, man. I use these hardwire delays. I use the Strymon Leslie simulator. They have a really cool little reverb unit, which I probably won't use tonight in this room, but I use Joe Bonamassa gave me a wah-wah pedal, Dunlop wah-wah pedal. I use Providence jam pedal, Providence Anodyne chorus, and I use the jam pedal for a univibe effect. Generally, I have maybe one pedal that only gets used on one song or something like that, you know. I try not to overuse any of this shit, you know. I'm pretty much a straight-ahead guy now, you know. I don't have any distortion units. I use the third channel of the Bogner as a distortion. I have this really cool, it's a little teeny compressor. Oh my God, what's it? They're gonna kill me for not mentioning this. Exotic. Very cool little compressor, which I use for clean sounds and stuff, like, you know, I do simulated pedal steel stuff. And it's a very interesting little box, and very clean, sounds good. That's about it, a tuner.
I hope you have a little bit of time left to enjoy Hamburg today. Have you ever had a Franzbrötchen?
A what?
A Franzbrötchen.
What's that?
It's like the specialty Brötchen, the rolls, you know, probably from being in Germany.
Ah!
And then there's a cinnamon roll.
No, I haven't had that. I've been trying to keep my boyish figure, but
right, okay.
But occasionally I cheat, so that sounds like a good idea.
In case you get hungry later after the show.
Oh, yeah! Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. You know what, I will.
It's people who move from Hamburg to Munich or to other places, they always say first thing, they don't have the Franzbrötchen.
Right here. It smells good, too. Dessert. I'll have a bite later. Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Thanks a
your
lot,
time.
buddy. Cheers. Bye out there.